Alright, first off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is Brother Irawam from the Jimmy Shemika camp. Come with another quick lesson. And this lesson is based off something that I saw in an anime called Bleach. You know, it really highlighted the topic of self-justification and self yeah, that's pretty much it. Overconfidence and self-justification, you know, and really it shows how you can be in the right but turn it to a wrong. So this is Proverbs 16 Slakia, verse 18. It says, pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. Right? And what technically happened was the guy, he was very strong. He had a lot of power, but he had a master, or his superior was telling him that, look, you have a lot of power, and you need to learn how to control it and use it effectively. Because he was basically explaining to him that power can actually get to you. So when you have too much power and don't know how to control it, you're not humble with it. Having that power and choosing not to use it, unless it's absolutely necessary, that can be a downfall. So he was trying to explain that to him, right? And it reminds me, of us in the truth, where scripture says that what wisdom or our knowledge puff it up, right? So that's a good comparison to make with brothers in the truth. So he kept on doing his thing. He was helping to win more. He was winning more battles, but the more battles he won, the more the more confident he grew, to the point where he got overconfident. Now, being confident, or being the one always on the forefront, they actually they were a group of men which were wicked as hell. Set him up, told a lie on him with that. They actually sent someone to try to kill him, that were off their same team. He killed them, and then they came and say that he killed them out of spite, or he couldn't control himself or whatever. Now, when this happened, he was thrown in jail, and he started to he was thrown in jail, and he started to actually defend himself by breaking out. While his master was there, he was saying that, look, even though it's a case that you are innocent, right, it's best to keep yourself locked up. And he was saying that, look, I didn't do anything. So eventually he broke out, and he killed the guys that were against him. And he said that, look, even if in the original state you were innocent, now it will never be known. If you had just allowed yourself to be taken, then let a thorough investigation done, then chances are you would have been able to it would have been a possibility where you would have been acquitted. It would have worked out in the end. But now that you have done this, you actually have something that you need to pay for, or you actually made the situation worse. And based on that, he was saying that he was strong. They're jealous because of his power, which they were, but he started to see everyone as an enemy, and then he started to attack everyone. But the whole moral of it is of that little part was the fact that you can be in the right, but it turns to wrong because of what the fact that you actually try to justify yourself and not humble yourself to see the bigger picture, based on the fact that you're overconfident whether or not you are right, or because you have a certain level of strength, right? So I'll read it again. This is Proverbs 16 verse 18. It says, pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. And that's the thing, especially in the days to come. We are gonna have to, we're gonna be in situations where, regardless of the knowledge that we have, regardless of the fact that Yahweh Bashem Yahshua is with us, will still have to take the low seat, just as Yahushua did. When he was going on the cross, he said that he could have asked the Father for legions of angels, but he did what needed to be done. Also, David, when Saul was actually trying to kill him, he did not justify himself. He did not go up against Saul, but he waited on Yahweh to justify him, right? So let me just get a few more scriptures, and then I'll be out. Which one was that? Right, this is Job 9 verse 20. It says, if I start at verse 2. Yeah, Job 9 and 20 says, if I justify myself, mine own mouth shall condemn me. If I say I am perfect, I shall also prove me it shall also prove me perverse. And as it's true, sometimes even though you are right, it's best to just keep silent. It's best to just let everything play out. In every situation, there's always something that you did, or that you contributed, to making it wrong. Because one of the reasons why he was even targeted was because of his his overconfidence. He kept on pushing and pushing, and he wasn't holding back. He wasn't using his power within measure. Even with quelling the rebellion, it could have been a way where it could have been done more smoothly if he had, how do I put this? If he had used his power within measure. Let me just say it like that. Right? But because, he just let all out, he wasn't considering, the factors of, interacting with people, how everything was playing out. He wasn't circumspect overall, and he wasn't humble enough to even see that, look, even though you have this great power, you need to temper it, right? So yeah, as it says, if I justify myself, mine own mouth shall condemn me. If I say I am perfect, it shall also prove me perverse. And that is what happened when he broke out of prison and then went to kill those guys who set him up, right? So because of that self-justification, it put him in a state where, he was actually wrong this time, and there was no going around it, right? Because what, lack of patience, lack of waiting on due process. And it's the same thing if we don't wait upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and try to justify ourselves, or take matters in our own hands, it will actually, it can lead to us being in a very detrimental position, right? What's the next precept? Is this? Alright, we have this with Matthew. Right, Matthew. This is Matthew 23, verse 12. It says, and whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Right? So we should more be in the mindset of humbling ourselves, and not in the case of being puffed up with knowledge, or being overconfident when we're actually dealing with people, whether it be those of the unbelievers, whether it be of brothers that are lower in the faith, or brothers that are higher in the spirit, or just when you're dealing overall, to just walk with a humble spirit, or pray that Yahweh Shem Yahshua, gives us a very humble spirit. Because once everything is done through humility, then Yahweh Shem Yahshua will actually exalt us in due time. Right? And I'll get two more scriptures from, but these are from the Apocrypha. The first one is Ecclesiasticus 32, verse 17. It says, a sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. And that's the thing, he when he was confronted by his superior about killing those men, he was given an excuse, right? So he was saying that, hey, they lied and what, on all that jazz. But he said, yes, even if that's the case, your actions towards the situation was wrong. And that's what he couldn't accept in the end. And because of his pride, if he had humbled himself at that point, he was like, no, I was in the right. So regardless of what you're saying now, I shouldn't be in trouble for this, because really and truly they are the ones who were wrong in the first place, right? So instead of humbling himself and saying, right, I definitely should have humbled and not take matters in my own hands, or establish my own righteousness, if you will, right? Then it's a case where it would have worked out better. He proceeded to actually, fight against them, and it just all went south from there, right? So yeah, definitely a very clear precept, right? A sinful man will not be rewarded. Sorry, a sinful man will not be reproved, but find it an excuse according to his will, right? And then the final precept. Uh, all right, this is Ecclesiasticus 7, and I will start at verse 4. It says, seek not of the Lord preeminence, neither the king seat. So let me read that once more. It says, seek not of Yahweh preeminence, neither of the king the seat of honor. So that's you exalting yourself. Don't fight, for that leadership position. Don't fight to be the man. Fight to do your duty, or to work within your lot to the best of your ability, and if the Lord sees fit, then he will exalt you, right? Verse 5 says, justify not thyself before Yahweh, and boast not of thy wisdom before the king. Seek not to be judged, be not able to take away iniquity, lest at any time thou fear the person of the mighty, and a stumbling block in the way of and stumbling block in the way of thy uprightness. Right, but the key point is in verse 4 to 5, especially in verse 5, where it says, justify not thyself before Yahweh, and boast not thy wisdom before the king. So don't boast in thy strength. Don't boast, don't boast in the fact that you have this lot of wisdom, or your own strength. Basically, don't boast in your own strength, but just know that everything, you're exalted of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in anything you do. And that is why it says in Jeremiah that you shouldn't boast in your strength, or in your wisdom, or anything like that. Just be happy that the judgment of the Most High, and that you know of His mercy, and that will suffice pretty much, right? Because once it's a case that you start to trust in your own wisdom, once you start to trust in your own strength, once you are reproved, or you are once you're reproved, and it's a case that you think that it shouldn't have been handled in that way, or what is said is something that you won't accept or won't agree with, you become overconfident, and therefore you won't be able to be reproved, and then you start to seek your own righteousness, or establish your own righteousness, and then making the situation worse. So hope this was edifying. Just wanted to to share that based off what I saw in that anime. And once more, to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Bashem Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers and highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom.